didn't see a continuation come in, did you?
They canceled the Marine.
Oh, okay. Oh, they came out with their RTP. Hey there, West Michigan. Meteorologist Michael Behrens here with you. We are tracking the latest on a round of strong and some severe storms now that are working their way into West Michigan. Joining you guys here, Facebook Live, YouTube, and on 13 Plus and 13onyourside.com with the very latest on what to expect with these storms. Let's jump right over to radar. That's where we see the line of mostly rain that is in West Michigan with the strongest portion of these storms on the southern end. That's where we have a severe thunderstorm warning in place for Van Buren County. That severe thunderstorm warning going to be in effect until about 8:30 here this evening. The main concerns with this storm are going to be the potential for hail and some pretty strong winds. In fact, you can see here the potential for inch diameter hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds are included with this particular cell. The strongest part of that actually now working its way into portions of Kalamazoo County. So I wouldn't be too surprised if they feel the need to either cancel this alert here early or continue it down the line into northern Kalamazoo County. That's where some of the stronger portions of this cell are now located. In terms of the hail threat with the system, we'll switch over to something called VIL that lets us see inside the storm and where the hail potential is the largest. And this is still about as strong as it's ever been with this system, with the potential for large hail working its way now toward Alamo in northern Kalamazoo County. This will be working its way toward US 131. So if you're traveling south from Grand Rapids or north out of Kalamazoo, maybe hold off on that trip a little bit here because there could be some hail that will be crossing over that main highway here very shortly. We'll switch back over to the main view here, show you that storm again and that warning again continuing until 8:30 tonight. Again, I wouldn't be surprised again to see that either extended through Kalamazoo County or expired in Van Buren County here very shortly with that particular system. The speed on these storms have been mostly to the northeast, around 40 to 50 miles per hour. In fact, this particular storm here had picked up speed to around 60 miles per hour, moving off toward the north and east. We'll put the track here on the leading edge of that storm and show you where that's going to go here over about the next hour or so. Tracking it, we'll do the leading edge there that's now into northern portions of Kalamazoo County. Again, they say moving at about 60 miles per hour. So that's moving pretty good clip here across the region. That'll put it into the Otsego area by 8:21, Cooper Township by 8:25, the Orangeville area by 8:35, Hope Township at 8:38, and Hastings by 8:45. From there, it's going to continue to move its way out of the West Michigan, of the 13 on your side viewing area, and on closer toward the Lansing region as we head over the next hour or so. So that storm's moving at a pretty good clip, but it's just the leading edge of several storms that we're watching. Severe storms down near Coldwater, heading toward Jackson, could bring some warnings into southern portions of Calhoun County in the next 30 minutes to an hour here. So toward the Tecumseh area, over toward north of Litchfield, could be an area that we see additional alerts come in the next 30 minutes. So new updates coming in, no new warning just yet, but they did pare back the portion of Van Buren County that was under the severe thunderstorm warning, now only up into the northeastern portions of that county, still producing 60-mile-per-hour wind gust and the potential for quarter-size hail, moving about the same speed we are tracking before, 55 miles per hour toward the northeast. Give you a broader view here of everything that we've been keeping an eye on. Lots of severe weather across the country today, including several large and violent tornadoes that have been caught on video. A couple tornado emergencies across the south and portions of Tennessee and Arkansas with some of these heavier storms that have come through. All these alerts that we see back out in portions of Illinois, also pretty strong storms that'll be coming toward West Michigan as we head deeper into this evening. Of course, the more we work the environment over with the rain right now, the more we can get some of that energy out, and hopefully we won't have to deal with as strong of storms once they get here. But you can see severe thunderstorm warnings with some considerable damage and tornado warnings all across northern Illinois. Everyone that you see there in the yellow outline, those are radar indicated tornado warnings. You can see them from Madison all the way down through Rockford and toward the west of the Chicago metro area. Also seeing some radar indicated tornado warnings in and around Champaign, Illinois, and further to the south, along with additional warnings, including some pretty impactful ones still with considerable damaging tornado potential down near Memphis, and more potential tornadoes in northwestern Tennessee and southeastern portions of Missouri. So this is a big area of severe weather that's affecting the country, and we've already seen pictures of some of the hail from here in West Michigan. This picture here, or video, is from Lauren in St. Joseph. You can see those hailstones coming down probably not more than a half hour ago when that video was sent in. Some pretty nasty hail. Certainly don't want to be driving through that here as those storms push into West Michigan. The severe weather risk remains highest for wind, but hail is also a potential we've been tracking here this evening. Most of West Michigan was placed under a level 2 out of 5 risk for severe weather, with the areas further north and east under a level 1 out of 5 risk. Heavy rain also a possibility, and can't rule out that low end risk for a spin-up tornado, but hail and wind are likely going to be our two main things to focus on here over the next couple of hours. Now, temperatures have been quite mild this afternoon. We pushed into the 50s out there, close now to 60s in South Haven and Kalamazoo. Those temperatures coming with plenty of moisture as well, so there's still energy out there to work with, even though the rain is coming through. Southerly winds going to keep the warm, moist air pushing into West Michigan as we head through the next several hours. The hour-by-hour forecast here, you can watch this first round of storms work its way through. It's starting to dissipate and move off to the north as we head toward 9-10 o'clock here this evening. Then that second round going to come in out of the west. We can see that second round of storms working its way in as we head toward 10, 11 and midnight, and then eventually pushing its way through, exiting the region in the early AM hours of Saturday. Once we get past that system, we're pretty much done with any threat for severe weather, though very windy conditions will continue as we head into the weekend. Saturday, expecting wind gusts 40 to 50 plus across portions of the region. That will certainly have the potential to at least bring some power outages to West Michigan, where we could see that most likely going to be along the lakeshore, where some of the heaviest wind gusts are to be expected. We'll switch back over to the radar here, show you the latest on the storm that is pushing its way now into northern Kalamazoo County. Still no new alerts with this system as of yet, though the hail potential is mostly gone from Van Buren County. It's really now along US 131. So again, if you're traveling north or south through northern Kalamazoo County, southern Allegan County, put that trip on hold for, say, the next 10-20 minutes or so. Allow that storm some time to get its way over the highway before you head in that direction. We'll switch back to the hail view here and show you where that potential is again strongest now over the 131 highway north of Kalamazoo, where we're seeing the strongest potential for hail. It's loading in the newest data there. The good news here, this is weaker than say 5 minutes ago when we were just talking about this originally here on our live stream, but still seeing some potential there for some hail. That'll be the concern to watch with this system. Again, those winds are just barely to severe criteria, hanging around the 60-mile-per-hour mark at their peak, which would get us into that severe thunderstorm warning here across West Michigan. The warning that is in place right now, northern Van Buren County, northeastern Van Buren County to be specific, continues until 8:30, at least as of right now, though like we said, most of that threat is working its way out of the county and into northwestern portions of Kalamazoo County, though again, we are still under the gun for severe weather here through the rest of the evening, so there's going to be several things to watch as we head through the next couple of hours, including what is going to come from further to the south. In fact, let's go ahead and put on some of our severe watches that we have in place here this evening. Nothing in West Michigan, but just to our south, they do have tornado watches in place that do reach into Berrien County, northern Illinois, northern Indiana, central Indiana, southern Wisconsin, all under tornado watches at this hour. The one that goes into Berrien County in place till 3 a.m. So we're going to be watching that second line of storms because, again, they could bring more severe weather threats to West Michigan as the atmosphere stays warm and plenty of moisture out there. But again, the rain that we have in place right now hopefully can take some of that energy away, though you do see behind this first line of storms a clearing back down towards South Bend and into southern portions of Michigan toward the Indiana border. So there could be some strengthening allowed in that period there as that second line of storms works its way in from Illinois. Though you can see again some moisture, some sort of non-severe messy storms down toward the Kankakee area south of Chicago that may take that energy away. So it's going to be something to watch, not a guarantee, but a possibility for severe weather continuing here as we go through the rest of this evening. I want to go and take a moment. We'll go over to our Facebook Live here, see if we have any questions to answer. We got about 4 minutes left on that warning, so we'll keep the stream going through the end of that warning to see if they do expand it from where we're at right now. Again, hail and wind are biggest concerns here. Let's see, got lots of people checking in. Got some people from Baldwin there. Luann, got Howard in Howard City. Not appropriate. Ida in Kentwood checking in. Candace from Kalamazoo. Again, if you're down toward Kalamazoo, watch out for that storm heading your way. Certainly some lightning with it here this evening as well. Kimberly checking in. Bonnie in Caledonia. Laura in Cedar Springs. Nancy from Davison. Nothing up there. Says it's all quiet. Good to hear that. Let's see, Elizabeth's got some big thunder in Belding. Also, Dorothy in Holland reporting some loud thunder out there. We've seen the thunder across a good section of this system, even beyond what we have the severe with. Even up in the Grand Rapids, we've heard some thunder here lately, but the stronger system, again, down near the 94 corridor, at least as of right now. Pam checking in all the way from Florida. Thanks for checking in, Pam. Another Pamela in Ludington checking in. You guys are pretty much mostly out of the severe risk, I would say, here this evening. Lots of cooler air once you get north of 96. A lot of cooler air up to the north. Oh, 2 people from Florida. Gordon checking in from Florida as well. Let's see. Sarah sprinkling in Ludington. Wow, okay. I'm just thinking now that all of you guys are on vacation in Florida because this is 3 people from Florida checking in. Jay is in Fort Myers. So you guys have definitely gone on spring break, I'm thinking, here this evening. Tricia just said heard her first rumble of thunder in Ravenna. Thunder and lightning in Muskegon from Deb. Sherry also confirming that thunder in Holland. Let's see. Glow in Grand Haven, checking in with some lightning and thunder there. Let's see. Norton Shores from Angela as well. Similar picture there. Not sure how to pronounce your name, but I'm going to give it a shot. Quasi, asking about Newaygo. You guys are a little bit too far north for most of the severe threat this evening, but definitely could pick up some more heavy rain on top of what we've already had. There was some potential for flooding on the Muskegon River through southern Newaygo County. Minor flooding, nothing major, but flood-prone areas could see some issues up there. You guys are under portions of this weather risk, though, the lower end of the severe weather risk, so wind also going to be a concern for you guys up north, but the threat is more toward the south. Let's see. Deborah from Belding, lightning and thunder. Norton Shores from Christina, same thing. Lisa asking about Lansing. You guys are on the edge of the severe alert for this evening as well. So you guys could see some. But again, that threat gets higher the further south you go. So the closer you get to Indiana, Ohio, that's where the bigger threat is. Let's switch over. We'll show you the SPC outlook here across West Michigan. You can see that risk cuts off the further north and east that you go, with the higher risk being down toward the Indiana border. In fact, the southern portion of Michigan, right there along the border, under level 3 out of 5 risk. So that's where the highest risk for storms will be. I got an update here on the severe thunderstorm warning. Will be allowed to expire at 8:30. No word on any additional warnings coming from that storm. So let's go ahead and we'll recap here from the top, and then we'll get you guys back to your evenings. Of course, we'll be here to cover everything as we go throughout the rest of tonight. Me and Chief Meteorologist George Lessons are both here in the Weather Center watching these storms as they push through. So we broke in here on Facebook Live and YouTube for a severe thunderstorm warning that was in Kalamazoo, or in Van Buren County, with a storm that was heading toward Kalamazoo County. That storm has weakened now, no longer showing as much hail potential, though still could see some small hail along 131. Actually, we stand corrected. They have issued a new severe thunderstorm warning for that particular part of the storm. So we're going to need to go ahead and cover that here as well. So we'll keep the stream going here. I'm going to talk to one of our production people, see if they can hear me. Nick, are you in the back in the control room right now? Hey, Nick. We have a new severe thunderstorm warning. So if we could go ahead and roll a cut-in for that as soon as we are ready to.
Cover that?
Let me check with George real quick. You want in on this, George?
Yeah, I'll cover this on the air.
Okay. We're ready on Max 2 of graphics if you want to cut now, and Nick's ready in the back as well.
Well, I'll be on Max 1 here in a minute. Let this crawl run and then we'll break in.
Nick's asking if we're ready, George.
Yeah, we'll wait for the crawl to run and I'll break in here in a minute.
All right, 1 second, Nick.
It'll be a minute. Just let the crawl run. No track on this one, so I don't know. Track these.
Alrighty, so for you guys here on Facebook Live, new severe thunderstorm warning has been issued. Covers portions of Allegan County, Berry County, northern Kalamazoo, and extreme northwestern Calhoun County. That's where we're keeping an eye on this next round of storms here. 60-mile-per-hour wind, still some quarter-size hail potential in there. That first warning we were telling you about as we were getting ready to wrap up there did expire in Van Buren County, but the new warning now going to continue till 9:30 tonight as this storm makes its way off to the north and east. So George is joining us here. He'll be taking part of our coverage as we head to air. Nick, for a note for you guys, that will be on Max 1 for TV cut-in, and I believe you're ready to go.
Yeah.
George, correct? George is ready.
Are you going to be in the shot here?
Yep.
3, 2.
Hello everyone, I'm Chief Meteorologist George Lessons with an update on our severe weather situation. Let's go to the maps. A severe thunderstorm warning issued for portions of northwestern Calhoun County, southeastern Allegan County, Berry County, and northern Kalamazoo County. This is until 9:30 this evening. Potential for 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and quarter-size hail as that storm moves north of Kalamazoo on up into the southwestern portion of Berry County. It could be into the Gun Lake area here very shortly. Again, the main threat from this will be 60-mile-per-hour winds and quarter-size hail. This is a radar-indicated severe thunderstorm warning. Lots of lightning with this storm, as any storm usually produces, so you need to be in a place of safe shelter, generally down in the lowest part of your building. And if you're out and about, just head to someplace safe rather than driving through these torrential downpours. You move to an interior room on the lowest floor of your building. So again, the main threat is from the lightning, some heavy downpours, but again, the potential for 60-mile-per-hour winds and quarter-size hail. Further to the south, a new severe tornado watch was issued a while ago, but it does not include any of the 13 on your side viewing area. It's from Berrien County south down through western Indiana for a large hail and winds up to 80+ miles per hour. None of that is heading, though, into the West Michigan area. As always, keep an eye on the icon in the lower right-hand corner of the screen and a crawl across the bottom for the very latest weather information. I'm Chief Meteorologist George Lessons along with Michael Behrens in the 13 on your side Weather Center, and you can follow Michael on Facebook Live here throughout the evening for more updates. I assume it was Facebook Live.
Yep.
Okay.
All righty, guys, and as you just heard from Chief Meteorologist George Lessons, we are tracking the additional storms here across West Michigan this evening. Those storms now with severe thunderstorm warnings in place for portions of Allegan County, Berry County, Calhoun, and Kalamazoo till 9 o'clock tonight. We'll get reset here for our Facebook live stream. There we go. Make sure I can see myself here in the studio. There's George. Hi, George. Bye, George. So we are tracking the risk for a hail potential up to 1 inch in diameter, quarter-size hail, and also the possibility for some 60-mile-per-hour winds with this system. So let's jump back right into the radar here. That warning in place till 9:30 tonight. The bulk of the storm now crossing over 131. It's now past 131. It's going to be north of the Parchment area, south of Orangeville, heading just to the northeast of Gull Lake, and then working its way into Berry County here. The warning does not include Battle Creek. Does include areas just to the north and west of Battle Creek, though, so it kind of runs right through Level Park there and into southern portions of Berry County with the heavier part of the storm. Let's switch over on this one since we do have the new warning out there. We haven't looked at the hail inside the storm just yet, so let's go ahead and take a look at that. You can see as we load in the new data, the areas that will be more brightly colored, the oranges and the reds are the areas where the hail potential is highest. Not seeing too much here, actually. The hail threat continues to look decreased from when we saw that original warning that was back in Van Buren County. We'll run this back here. You can see what I was talking about. This is when that warning came out. Those very bright pinks and reds, that was the heavier part of this system where the hail was most prevalent. That continues to work its way off to the north and east and has been showing a weakening trend. So that is good news with this particular cell. So the hail threat not looking nearly as strong as what we saw with the original warning down into Van Buren County. Now, the other concern is the winds, though. The winds of 60 miles per hour or greater could be felt within this particular thunderstorm. So that's one of the reasons we have that warning in place here this evening as those storms continue to track their way up to the north and east at around 50 miles per hour now as of the latest update for that warning. We do have a storm report from Goebels area, Van Buren County, 0.88 inch diameter hail. So not quite severe, but very close to it. So this was producing some good hail. In fact, let's switch back over to the video from St. Joseph. You can see some of the hail that these storms have been capable of this evening. Even if we're not too severe, if we're up to 0.8 inches, 0.9 inches, that's still nasty hail. Not something that you want to be standing out in or have your car drive through. So those are two areas of concern when it comes to this system. Let's go ahead and storm track the latest cell here, the one that is now working its way toward Berry County. Pretty good amount of lightning with this. We haven't shown the lightning counter here in a bit, so let's put the lightning up on the screen. We've got about 54 strikes between Van Buren, Kalamazoo, and what stretches up into Berry and Allegan counties. It's not the most prolific lightning producer, but more than we've seen here in West Michigan in quite some time. So definitely want to be inside and away from the windows and anything that could conduct lightning into your house. So that's certainly something to keep in mind here this evening as well. We'll zoom out a bit so we get enough space to put the lead on the front of the storm. We'll track the area right along the leading edge where the winds are likely to be the strongest and right before we get into the area of the storm that would be capable of producing some hail this evening and moving northeast about 50 miles per hour. That's going to take it in through Berry County and out of Berry County here in the next hour. Hope Township by 8:39. Hastings by 8:49. The storm will be in your area. Nashville at 8:54. Vermontville at 8:59. And then we're pretty much off and out of the 13 on your side viewing area. It may impact southeastern portions of Ionia County, though, so do keep that in mind as we head through the next hour. You guys may be seeing the stronger storm work its way toward you. We are also keeping an eye on storms that are yet to come here across West Michigan. There's some thunder and some decent winds out over the lake. We'll switch to the hail view here as well, just to see if those cells that'll be coming on shore into portions of Allegan and eventually Ottawa County are producing any hail here this evening. We'll wait for that hail data to load in here over the last couple of hours. And nothing too major with that particular area, seeing any kind of hail potential. And again, what is coming into Berry County also weakening. The strongest area of hail right now is northwest of Hillsdale. That could clip portions of Calhoun County off to the extreme southeastern portions of the county. That hail core now moving through the Litchfield area and will be tracking off toward the north and east. So if you live south of M60 and to the east of M49, so this is a very small area of the 13 on your side viewing area, inside here you could see some hail in the next, I would say, 10-20 minutes here with that area pushing toward you. So we'll reset here like we were going to do before the new alert came out, get you up to date on the latest alert. I think we're going to go ahead and wrap this live stream up, because while they do have that new warning in place, honestly, I'm not seeing as impressive of characteristics with this storm as what we had in Van Buren County. So we'll wrap this up. We'll keep monitoring things here at 13 on your side, and we'll be back on air and online as needed throughout the rest of the evening. So here's the latest information. You can see the severe thunderstorm warning on your screen does cover portions of Berry County, Calhoun, Kalamazoo, and Allegan County. That'll go till 9:30 tonight. The rate at which the storm is moving, it will likely be pared back and probably even canceled before then for portions of this warning. The bulk of the system now working its way out of Kalamazoo County and into portions of Berry County. That's where we could see the hail potential. The strongest down there where we see those pinks on the radar north of Gull Lake to the southeast of the Orangeville area, where some of the heavier rains, wind, and hail may be felt here this evening. We're going to switch over one more time just to make sure that we're still seeing the same trend on the hail tracker. Looks a little bit stronger in terms of hail potential now, but still not what it was before. So these storms kind of go through periods of cycling where you have stronger dynamics, stronger hail potential, and periods of weaker dynamics and weaker hail potential. So keep in mind that this storm may still produce some hail along with 60+ mile/hour winds. We'll put the storm track on here one more time as well to time that out before we take the broader view across the country and across here in West Michigan. This is moving to the northeast at around 50 miles per hour. So what we're seeing with the leading edge of that system, it's going to be taking it up through portions of Berry County and off to the north and east here pretty quickly. It'll be in the Baltimore Township area by 8:43, Nashville by 8:53, Hastings by 8:54, and Woodland Township at 9:03. After that, taking it on out of West Michigan, save for southeastern portions of Ionia County, which may experience portions of this stronger storm as we head through the next hour. The big picture here shows more weather yet to come. Severe weather from Madison, Wisconsin down through St. Louis and all the way down to the deep south. Several areas in there with tornado warnings being issued at this hour. So we'll watch that second line as it works its way toward West Michigan and see if we see any impacts from it in our neck of the woods. Of course, we've already seen the hail here this evening. You can see that there in the video from St. Joseph. Thanks to Lauren for sending that video in. We remain under a severe weather threat. Most of West Michigan, level 2 out of 5 with north and eastern portions. Once you get to say 96 north and east, under a level 1 out of 5. Wind, primary concern, hail the secondary one, but we can't rule out the potential for a little bit of flooding in low-lying areas or an isolated tornado either this evening. Plenty of warm, moist air pushing into West Michigan as temperatures even at this hour remain steadily in the mid to upper 50s, even close to 60s down towards South Haven. The winds out there from the south pulling in that warm air here this evening. Hour by hour forecast shows this first wave pushing through over the next hour or so. It starts to dissipate and exit as we head toward 10 o'clock, but that's when the second wave starts to fire up, coming across Lake Michigan and out of northern Indiana. That will push through West Michigan between 10 o'clock and about 1 a.m. this morning before exiting in the early a.m. hours as we head deeper into Saturday. course, we will continue to track that here throughout the rest of the evening, keeping you up to date on air and online as needed. For now, though, we're going to go ahead and wrap up this particular Facebook Live and YouTube stream, and we'll be back if necessary. Have a great evening. Stay safe.